And good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nadeau, Samantha Perry with you on another beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach. We've been so fortunate with the weather of late and really all championship meet for that matter. You can see it there, the firm turf course, the fast main track, Tapeta in play as well. And we welcome back Samantha as you were bopping around at Palm Meadows up yesterday. So welcome back. And you missed some big doings as there was a single in the rainbow yesterday. It didn't happen. So what that means is $950,000.
Wow, that is huge.
Yep.
And it's a very competitive latter half of the card today, too. So it'll be fun to get involved and excited to see Ronnie's rainbow ticket a little bit later.
Yeah, I agree totally. She said it very well. There's a lot going on this card today. A lot of moves you can kind of make and maybe horses you can leverage and take a shot at. And Ron will be up in race 4 with that ticket. He'll be out with me in race number 1, which kicks off the early pick 5. And we'll take a look at my ticket now. Those pools have been very, very healthy as well. I'm going to spread a little bit. $48 ticket for me. Not to speak for Samantha, but everything held together, at least for me. There are very few scratches today on the card, so I think that's beneficial as well. I'm 4 deep in race 2, 3 deep in race 3. The single is in race 4. Island Magic is my best bet of the day. Might be a little bold one, but Ronaldo Richards, second time back now. And then 31 in race 5. Spy Novel will be tough right back for Safi off the claim. There you see it there, $48. So we'll get into the opener now. On that firm turf course, and Samantha will be out there. It's a good one, too. It's a maiden optional claimer, the tag 50. Florida breds do not have to enter for the tag. A mile and a 16th for 3-year-old fillies. And we both got a lot of the same going on. You go all the way to the outside with good value. I know you've got a workout, right?
Yeah, I do. And this is a workout from the summer in Saratoga. This horse was training there. Now, good values on the inside. This is a daughter of Mendelssohn. The dam, Ms. Ida, was extremely quick on the grass, 5-time stake winner. She actually, if you're a thoroughbred person, ran ones on the turf. There she is, just working inside a free look. I love this work. It's a typical Chad Brown work where they just work heads up with each other. They don't let one or the other get away. It was over the Saratoga turf course in the summertime, and as you can see, just kind of on her own, she kind of galloped out pretty nicely there. Now, the thing that I like, Brian, when horses are training for a debut and something kind of sets them back. So with younger horses, this was a 2-year-old when she was working. Sometimes it's bone bruising. Sometimes they get some shins, and it's nothing major, but they have to stop on them for a little bit. When they come back a second time around, it's much easier to get them in that kind of fitness level because they've already had that base. So I don't like the fact that she's drawing this far outside. I harp on this a lot. When you're making a first-time start, being on the far outside and being on the far inside, 2 places you don't really want to be. But I think she has the class to kind of put her there. And I know naysayers are going to say, well, she's in for $50,000 and she's that well-bred. Yeah. But I just think that this is, this could be for a reason. It's not like $50,000, like you like to say, is giving her away by any means. She could have some residual value with being bred as well as she is. So we'll see what we get here. But I think she's my best bet of the day.
They paid $240 for her, too. So to pick up on the latter part of that, it surprised me because the dam was really good, like you said, 2 grade 3s. The barn, this blew me away when I looked at it. 0 for 26 the past 3 years, first-time starters on the turf. 2 for 40 the past 4 years. So take it for what it's worth. The post is not as bad as it would be going 7.5 or a mile. Right. I'm not getting beat by her. I'll tell you that much right now. But I did go a little bit elsewhere to number 7, Leipzig. Let's bring up the stat for Bill Mott. I mentioned one for Chad Brown. Here's one for Bill Mott now. It's not a huge sample, but this is pretty solid. Maiden special weight to maiden claiming turf routes overall the past 5 years. This horse, figure-wise, at least, she woke up on the turf, adding Lasix last time. She's going to be bet. She's going to be lower than that 5-1. I would think. It's junior. Bill Mott having a really nice championship meet too.
Yeah, they are, and she, like you said, she could just improve off of that. That was her first-time turf effort. It was a big field that day. She gets a smaller field here, and there's not a lot of world beaters in this race either.
I think that's very, very fair, and we're kind of a little bit different underneath. Art Rose all day for you, and then I've got the one Mo Tough down inside. But You know, I think my horse and your horse are the two that they have to beat. Who does it? It's not out of the realm of possibility. Right. Early pick 4 time here in race number 2, and we'll get to a fast main track for the first time today. These are fillies and mares 4 and up, which have never won 3. At the bottom, $62.50, $6 for you. I like it.
Yeah, and I'm kicking off with a single here. I've kind of liked doing that this meet with these second races, just taking a stand, because they're honestly races that I could go all in or want to go all. And my long shot is the 5 Beautiful Star. We'll get to that in a moment. Race 3, I actually just lost one of my horses today, Cactus Jack. Okay. Unfortunately, I thought that horse was going to be the lone speed in the race, but I scratched into the number 1, Silent Chaos. First dirt try for this horse, hoping for a big effort there. In race number 4, 3 deep, the 5 is my top pick, Aunt Nadine. And in race number 5, 1 mile on the grass, a tough one. I think Spy Novel is probably the horse to beat, but I put Right On Richie on top for Larry Revelia, getting back to the grass here. $6 is the play. Punch it a couple times. I know I will.
Your long shot hit yesterday, so well done there.
3-1.
Well, it's still a line drive in the box score. I don't see a 5 on my pick, so hit me.
Yeah, that's scary. Irad Ortiz riding for Jerry Brooks. This is a horse that I watched in the summer at Monmouth, and I think this horse has just the kind of enough tactical speed to keep her, in the play of things here. She hasn't been on this 1 mile just distance here in a while, at least just the 1 turn mile distance in quite a bit here. She's been running that 7 furlongs, and I think she just has enough to kind of get her there. She gets Irad Ortiz today. I think that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah. She hasn't had a rider like him on his back in the last 10, 15 outs. Yeah,
that's very fair, and she does have some speed to the outside. I like that kind of post. The 4 is out, by the way. My long shot's in here, too, me as authority, and you might be doing what I'm doing. I just don't see anyone here I can trust. Right. I want some value, and me as authority, if nothing else, she's a fresh new face, routing on the Tapeta, both at Woodbine and here at Gulfstream, and we've talked about it a lot. Let's get it out here at Gulfstream with these Woodbine horses. She's run 15 times. She's never been on the main track. It's on the top of her pedigree, at least by strong mandate. So I'm going to throw something at the wall and see if it sticks for Mike McDonald.
Yeah, and the 2 favorites in here, like you mentioned, the horses we can't trust, the 1 and the 2, I think we've all played our hand with these horses and just haven't got there. Now, the 1 does make me a little nervous. Sandino Hernandez, he's been on fire. 38% win percentage. That's impressive, but it was a very nice win from this mare last time, and I think she'll react off that win.
I think that's fair, and she's rising in class. And the other thing, too, the 1 and the 2, they might hook up early, they might hook up often, and I don't think they want 7 furlongs if they're going to be doing that. So we'll see her, a mile, stretching out off 7 furlong races. So we're both kind of taking a price in race 2, and, it's a type of spot where maybe you're supposed to do that. On to race 3, sprinting on the main track at 6 furlongs here, and these are 4-year-olds and up. The tag $62.50, and you go down towards the inside. Silent Chaos coming out of some Tapeta routes.
Yeah, I scratched into this horse here. I'd like the cutback. Just the routing hasn't really played well for this horse. Murat Sankal, he's bound to get a win one of these days, and I think that this first-time dirt effort for this horse, I think it could be a good one.
You were trying to get Cactus Jack home?
I was.
He was loose. I'll give him that.
That was my plan. Cactus Jack lone speed here in the 6 furlong.
So he's out. Obviously,
he's out. Yeah.
The 6. There was no Cactus Jack for me. I have the 4 Ben Copenhagen on top. Antonio Sano, we mentioned it yesterday. He's 3rd in the standings. He's
incredible.
It really is. It's a good job by him, and credit to him and his staff. And this horse has got back form that plays with this kind of group. I'm hoping it comes out today, and just maybe we get a little reversal of form.
Yeah, it's very possible. And Ismael Jaramillo, he's a jockey that will put this horse in good position early on, which I think will play well for this horse. We'll have to see how the dirt's playing as the day goes on as well.
Yeah, and it's a good to bring up too now, because with Cactus Jack coming out, there is no speed in this race.
Exactly, none.
At all. It's probably going to turn into a little bit of jockey's race. Maybe Lionel takes the initiative from the outside with Frolic Man. You've got Ben Copenhagen in your mix as well, and certainly Old Town Road is not impossible either if we can get a rebound. So 3 down, that means 6 to go. Rainbow 6 time when we come back. We'll have Ron's ticket, $950,000 in that jackpot guarantee.
This is a championship meet.
Yeah.
All the best jockeys in the world are here, and I'm excited to ride against them.
We back.
And you get to watch some really incredible, talented athletes out there.
Yeah.
To us, it's a place to be in the winter.
I love Gulfstream Park because of the racing.
The palm trees, the beach is right here. The horse racing is some of the best in the country.
A lot of good horses come out of here. And if you want to go to the next level, Gulfstream Park was the place to come.
I remember the first time I came to Gulfstream, it was like this big fairy tale place. All the history.
Shoemaker sitting perfectly still. He hasn't touched this magnificent colt, and here comes the finish.
And all these great horses, trainers, jockeys. It was everything that I ever dreamed of.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you on another beautiful day here in Hollandale Beach. 3 down, 6 to go, and that means it's Rainbow 6-time Ron Nicoletti will be up with me in the opener, and he's got a ticket on a $950,000 Thursday, and he's got a single. He upped it a little bit at 48.60. A lot of 4 balls in there with Ronnie. I'm going to tell you what, as I look at his single in race number 5, Right on Richie is not a horse I have in my top 4, so that's a good single for Ron. 5-1 on the morning line in race, and then he's a 3x3x3x3 late pick 4, and I had a deep spread in race 8. We'll show my ticket a little later. Samantha's got a pick 5, but there it is, 48.60, and it grows quick around here, and we both talked about it at the open here. This is not an easy sequence. Get involved, because I think there's a lot of spots you can bob and weave a little bit in here. This might be one of them, too. This is for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. The tag is 16. We're on the Tapeta, sprinting a snappy 5.5. Aunt Nadine, you mentioned earlier for you.
Yeah, and this is a horse coming from the Victor Barboza barn. Gets Irad Ortiz. He's really mastered the Tapeta sprints here. I feel like you don't really want to be on the lead, but you don't want to be too far off of it, though. So I think this horse just has the nice little rating style, and is coming off of a second off an effort from a little bit of a freshening up, which I do like to see as well.
Good post for this spot, too. I'm down to the inside, and that might be a little trepidatious with the post, but Island Magic's my best bet of the day. Ronaldo Richards, we've seen him pop back in the entries. Victor Barboza as well. He's starting to get live in the entries, too. Let's take a look at the trainer stat, excuse me, for Ronaldo Richards. If you're not familiar with him, you know, he's a very, very high percentage guy. 5 for 15. That's 33%. Look at the ROI, sprinting on Tapeta at Gulfstream. I thought this horse had a trip last time, got shuffled back when the real running kind of began. Now, there's no doubt he's going to have to work out a trip from down inside, but you look back prior on her form, she's got some big races to play with these.
Yeah, she really does. Her numbers on her best day would just loop around this field here, so we'll see what version of her we get today. Maybe she just, sometimes these mares are weird. As soon as they lose their shot, they just don't ever pick up the bit.
That's for sure. Now, I'm somewhat fortunate in that I have a strong opinion in here, because there's going to be a lot of people playing this Rainbow that are going to be going 5, 6, 7 deep, I think at least. You know, we both got interest in the 3, Danger, and the 7 as well, Drinks on Me, who's been very, very popular at the claim box. Yeah,
and you'd love to see that this, she's an 8-year-old mare, and every time, it doesn't matter who she gets claimed by, she tries every single time. I don't think she needs to get into a speed duel, and that's kind of been her problem as of late, and she's been a very bet favorite last 4 starts. She's been the favorite, so I think she's one that you could probably play against if you have a strong opinion, like you said.
Yeah, I agree, and I think she'll be higher than that 7-2 because she kind of came off the bridle a little bit last time, which is the first time for her in a while, and I think she's meeting some tougher company today. But boy, a lot of different ways you can go in race 4, and I think that's you can be said for race 5 as well, which kicks off the late pick 5. I should have mentioned at the start, the rails are out 35 feet on the turf today, so take note of that, and Pete will walk you through everything in a little bit. Not a lot going on now. This is a mile on the turf. Post position, very important here for 3-year-olds, one of these starter optional claimers. Samantha on late pick 5 duty.
Yeah, I am, and this is a hefty ticket. I think it's a really good sequence, and definitely some areas that maybe if you don't want to spend $72, you can knock it down for sure. This race we'll get to in a moment. In race number 6, this was a really tough one for me. State bred fillies on the Tapeta. The number 6, though, is my top pick, Jolly Miss Jill. Race 7 went too deep. The number 4, my top pick, Journey to the Moon. We've got a replay of that in just a moment. In race 8, State Bred Allowance, race 7 furlongs on the dirt. It's a tricky distance there. The 6 is my top pick, Bring the Band Home, coming off of a 6-month layoff from Saratoga. And in race 9 to end the whole shebang, a mile and a 16th on the grass, Neo Gem is my top pick, $72. And let's see, I'm feeling pretty confident today.
No surprise that we've got a replay of Neo Gem too, because that was a trip and a half last time. We'll show it to you in a bit. So let's get back to this race. Spy Novel now is going to be, there's very few singles or very few horses you can lean on in this card. Spy Novel might be one of them for some people. And I'll tell you what, if you're not a fan of this horse, that might be even more of a reason to get in the Rainbow, because this horse is going to be a short number.
Yeah, and, you know, I went back and forth with who to put on top here. I think Spy Novel is a logical horse, and Savvy Joseph does an incredible job with first off the claim numbers. There's no doubt in my mind that he's improved this horse off the claim, and it was a nice little $25,000 win, but this horse hasn't faced winners, and that's why I just knocked him an edge below everybody else.
No, you know, we saw the same thing play out yesterday, and the name's going to escape me, my best bet of the day, and just came up a little bit short to Angela's Party Girl. And Spy Novel kind of doing the same thing. It's tougher when you're facing winners for the first time. It can be a little bit of a rude awakening, no matter how good you look, beating maiden claimers especially. It can be tough. So talk to me about Right on Richie, because you've got this one on top. Ronnie singling this one. Is this just straight to the hoop maybe on the front end?
I don't know. Either you're smarter than Ron and I, or we're smarter than you. We'll find out come race 5. But this is a horse that he's only been on the turf 2 times in his life, only routed on the turf once, and it was a nice win. Granted, that was at Colonial last summer, but those turf races were drawing tough. And for $25,000, you could say, this is a tough spot. But they thought enough of him. They ran him in some state-bred stake races at Hawthorne there, and it was on the dirt, and he still tried pretty hard, which you like to see, but they've got him back on the grass. I think this is where he wants to be. I understand the connections running him on the dirt, because the grass will always be there, and horses tend to mature and sometimes will take to the grass a bit better. I think now's his time. If he's going to pop a career top, this will be it.
Yeah, and really, with Big Blue Kitten on the top, this is not a dirt pedigree at all. I know Thunder Gulch on the bottom, but at one turn, that is not his jam at all. He's interesting, Larry Ravelli. I tend to fade him a little bit down here, but he still wins races, you know, down here. Very, very high percentage bar. Mr. Abarrio's down inside with no speed whatsoever. He's going to have to hurry, I think.
Yeah, he will. He's got to be closer. That was my trip note for him last time. It was just way too much to do for him, especially the way this grass course has been playing, especially on the inside. If he misses the break, now he gets Paco Lopez today, who's very aggressive, and I have no doubt he'll put this horse in the right spot. It's going to be up to him from there then. Yeah, I agree. And Drinking Problem won twice in a row, so he's pretty good on the front end both times too, so that's not going to flatter him. Race number 6 is a late pick 4 time. We'll take a look at my ticket here. I'm right back with Old Darlin', who got the worst trip of anyone, I think, last time, and we'll single here, and then a little bit of a spread, a small spread in race 7. And the dart lands on Samantha, hard to handle, who will not be 20-1. Let's not going to be anywhere close to that. But that is this race 8 is as good a state-bred allowance as we're ever going to run around here. It's a tremendous race for 3-year-olds. And then in race number 9, 263 is my order, Neo Gem, for all the kind of reasons we hinted at, and a lot of the reasons that we will show you in a little bit. So now let's get into this race. I'll start it just because I have such a strong opinion on O'Darlin, who just had a brutal trip last time, trying to come through, did it about 3 or 4 times and couldn't get it done. And I just feel like you look at this filly's Tapeta sprints, and that's clearly what she wants to do. Added Lasix last time as well and didn't get a fair go of it. Yeah, and if you just want to put your finger over that race, she was running in some tough spots and was actually holding her own pretty well. I think if she can get a nice trip, it will be tough to beat her today. All right, Jolly Miss Jill for you, going the right way for Ralph Nix, but needs to prove it on the Tapeta. Yeah, he does. And just really, that Money's Gold race that she's coming out of, Money's Gold, if you haven't heard her name, I'm sure you will a little bit soon enough, because she is very impressive for the Todd Pletcher barn. Has won 2 races in a row. Granted, a lot of space between them, but Jolly Miss Jill tried to go and bring the race to her, and it was a nice effort. Just really couldn't get there. I know specifically you don't like to play too much into jockey changes and whatnot, because who knows what goes on behind the scenes here. But Lionel Reyes does end up on this horse versus Clay Soldier, and he's been with Clay Soldier from the beginning. I don't know. I think Ralph Nix is good. He's a nice state-bred trainer, and I think this will be a tough horse.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And to Samantha's point, Money's Gold ran an 88 in that race, coming back off the Monmouth race, 101 or something crazy figure like that. And Jolly Miss Jill, not only did she try to take the race to her, she was a month clear of third, too. So it was a strong effort, adding Lasix, too. Just needs to prove it on the Tapeta. That's the only thing, a little bit of a question mark. Miss Vivian, let's bring up a stat for Billy Therinos, who's just done nothing wrong for about 3 weeks now. And he's claimed a lot of horses, too. So take note when they come back as well. So this is not a huge sample, but it's first off the trainer switch Tapeta sprints the past 5 years. He's got a little thing working here. 3 for 11, 27%, and Billy does good work with Emma Jane Wilson as well. And Miss Vivian's dangerous because she's got a lot of speed at her disposal off that much more elongated Woodbine circuit.
Yeah, and it's her first start from coming from Woodbine. These are horses that we've kind of just been sitting on, or at least I have, as far as playing them underneath. But she's a fresh horse. She's got a little freshness edge on the rest of these, so possibly maybe she gets loose in here.
Yeah, she's definitely dangerous. Hoax is in here as well, and I just think, judging by your picks, I am going to speak for you. We just don't want a short price.
Yeah, exactly.
They might not better. I know it's IRAD, but I don't know if you can come back to the well after her last race. Late pick 3 time is in the 7th. We're routing on the Tapeta here. A starter, optional claimer, fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and up. This one, we don't necessarily have the winner. I'd like to think we've got the exact. Let's bring up the replay. Journey to the Moon. They would probably be distraught if one or the other wasn't in the starting gate with each other, because they kind of
always run with each other.
Always run with each other. And Jazzy T got first run last time, and that was the key to victory, because what happened a few starts back was Journey to the Moon got first run. 2 really nice horses.
Yeah, they are. And Journey to the Moon has had the best of Jazzy T for about 3 starts in a row, and this time Jazzy T just put it on her. And these are 2 horses that you like to see them gut it out like they do. Just classy mares, and I want to say it's going to be either or of those.
You would think so. Journey to the Moon, the 11 for 13 in the exact on our Tapeta. How about that's Jazzy T, excuse me. Journey to the Moon, 7 for 7 with 4 wins. Clearly, it goes through them. Moser's Image is also 5-2 on the line. Marty Drexler off the claim. She's got to move forward in a big, big way.
Oh, yeah, much. And, I do like this horse a lot, but I think that I almost wonder if turf is kind of the better game.
Yeah, and maybe it's Irad. She's a distant third choice to these horses. She needs to find open lengths to get to them, and I was okay, as Samantha was too, using these 2. Now, race 8 is a fun one. We've got some time to talk about it here. These are state breds going 7 furlongs, 3-year-olds, and this is a wide open race that you land on Bring the Band Home, who I have a feeling, now they're going to bet Rutter's Bend. There's no doubt about it. This horse is probably getting bet today as a little bit of a steam horse.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Well, he's open company maiden win at Saratoga over a next out winner, and I don't know. I think he's going to. I don't know any steam.
I was
saying.
about to say, you got to pass on that steam, Brian. Come on.
Bullets here and everything.
Yeah, working locally here, we actually have the replay of him winning at Saratoga here. There he was in the 5 horse who comes up on him. Powerful, came back to win a stake race. This horse was super gutsy here, and it was just his second out, and it looked like the 5 was going to run right by him, and the 10 just had a longer nose than him in more ways than one. He's a very big Into Mischief colt. He's had 6 months off. he gets Lasix for the first time here today. Some of these other horses that we've already seen them with a little bit of a Lasix edge, sometimes that can really move a horse up, and this horse has not ran with it yet. I think that this is one he could win in a big way here today, or he could just be kind of faded.
I think that's fair. There is a lot of speed in here. The blinkers go on. Hyro is aboard in his debut. You know it's a send mission. I think this horse got a lot of talent. It'll be interesting to see what he delivers today. I'm going outside the box a little bit. This horse can't be 20-1. He looks more like 8 or 10-1 to me. Hard to handle. Now, was fourth. Okay, he adds Lasix last time in an optional claimer for 3-year-olds. Who wins the race? Tapit Trice.
Yeah.
And people think he's going to win the Kentucky Derby. Yeah. Shesterkin was 4-5 in there. Now, he was beating a football field. I get that. But he runs a big figure. It's second time Lasix. And he's got, Samantha, not only a cutback, but a little bit of a rating gear in a race where, you know, it could fall apart.
Yeah, it very well could, and I don't think this horse is too out of the box. You
No.
kind of have me wanting to add it now, too, so good salesman here. But it was a nice number that he ran last time, and like you said, Tapit Trice, he's on the Derby trail.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. I mean, Tapit Trice, I think, is like 16-1 in the futures right now, and he was stunning, beating Shesterkin on the square and then some. We've got to talk about Rutter's men in here. I don't want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
I thought he stopped badly last time.
Yep.
It was an open company race, okay? He's with a lot of friends today with Florida breds. His debut was awesome. That just left a really bad taste in my mouth, that race.
Yeah, and I wasn't a fan of him either in that debut. I actually remember we showed the work replay of this horse. He was so rank in his work at Palm Beach Downs. You know, he was in the race as well. It kind of worried me a little bit. As far as moving from that race to this race, maybe they took an edge off him a little bit. But, yeah, this is still – he's a tough one.
This was not the plan today, to run in this race.
Yeah.
This was not the plan to come second off into a state bred allowance.
Right.
Now, maybe they go back to the drawing board, get some confidence, and we move back. On the Triple Crown Trail, I can tell you this was
a big if.
Yeah, this was not the plan. He's going to be a big underlaid price. I think it's a great time to take a shot at beating him. Apocalypso can run a little bit for Safi. Blinkers, Lasix, back in with Florida breds. He's not impossible either.
Yeah, and coming out of that race with 3 winners, is that Mega Key race?
No, I think that's one short of Mega Key race.
Okay, so just a Super Key race?
Yeah, Super maybe Key.
We got to get that narrowed out in the office there. But Apocalypso, he does have a good shot, and he can kind of sit from the outside and see how everything kind of transpires in front of him.
This is a fun race. It's a key race. Might be a super mega key race in the making.
It could be. It could. These could go on to be state-bred stake horses.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
You got Roll on Big Joe in there for Bobby Hess Jr., who absolutely ran off the screen last time at
and
a
also
mile.
stopped for popcorn as well on the outside rail. Yeah.
This is pretty. Yeah, that's true too. And whoa, way out there. So we'll get Ronnie out here in the opener to give us that clarification.
Yeah,
but
there you go.
Ninth one's not easy either. If you're picking up what we're putting down here on this Thursday on this 9-race card, we're onto the turf here in a maiden optional claimer. These are fillies now. Florida breds don't have to go in for the tag. Nia Gem for both of us. Let's take a look at the replay because this was not good. And my last note here was tons the best.
Yeah, it really was. It worked out well for me because I bet Ali Bear, the winner of the 9 that day. But yeah, I mean, just had nowhere to go. That was the first race for this horse. Was trapped on the rail the whole time and was just so game. I love as soon as she got next to other horses, she pinned her ears back and just took off another gear here. Now, unfortunately, she does get the 2-post position, but at least she has some experience under her belt. I don't think, I think if she tips out, she's going to be live.
Yeah, without a doubt, and they're going to bet her today as well. The trip and the fact that she ran so well. Number 5 for you, Acquired Taste on the drop now for Mark Cassidy. We haven't seen this one a little bit, coming down from Woodbine too.
Yeah, but one of those horses that you might want to sit and wait on, just see how she runs here. Coming out of a race that Strokes horse actually came back to win here as well on the Tapeta. You know, bred top and bottom to go longer, so we'll see how she'll take to the trip.
Yeah, Marquesi on the drop. That could wake her up. Literate, for me, I thought it was another one that had a trip last time.
Yeah.
She checked inside, entering the first turn, kind of lost some position. Chris Davis got another win the other day. We're going to go second time lay 6. Irad lands here, so there's a lot to like.
Yeah, there is, and this is a very strong rider that will suit this filly as well. Every time, the past 2 times I've seen her, my notes have been she just didn't look 100% tight to me, and she could just be a filly that carries a lot of extra condition. We'll see today. Today's the day. If she's going to be sharpened up, it's going to be today, and I will be able to go from there.
Yeah, and then, of course, not even then. We've got to mention favorite on the morning line, and probably rightfully so. She had a bad post on debut in a maiden special weight, broke dead last. She's supposed to wake up a little bit for Jeremiah and Sean Bridgman.
Yeah, and this is a barn that they're due for another win, I think. But these West Coasts, progeny of West Coast, I'm not a huge fan of them on dirt or turf, so we'll see.
And the one thing I will mention, she came from last. We don't know with a more alert beginning. She might be a lot more tactical and be closer early. She better be, because you don't want to drop out the back, especially against a decent group like that. So there it is. That's a 9-race card, and it's a tough one as well. Get involved in that Rainbow Six. But before we leave you, we'll take a look at the Lightning Round. Big doings, too, because, of course, next Saturday is Fountain of Youth Day here at Gulfstream Park. I think 9 stakes, 7 of them graded, none more so than the Fountain of Youth, which is essentially an automatic qualifier for the Kentucky Derby. And they're all going to be looking up at Forte, who is likely to make his seasonal debut in that race, and here he is winning the Breeders' Cup Juvenile.
Yeah, and I was against him that day.
100%.
Yeah, I'm excited to kind of see how he's grown and matured since then. We'll check out his works on XB TV and see how he's been training up to this. But the horse to beat, and he is a classy one.
He's a really nice colt for Todd Pletcher, who's got a lot of them. That was a short stretch finish line race. I think that helps his chances here, that he's got an affinity for that.
Exactly.
So, it's going to be a huge card next Saturday. Can't wait to see that, and hopefully we'll have him front and center. Unfortunately, our sister track, our friends out in California, they are now canceled all weekend. We said yesterday they canceled on Friday. They have a blizzard warning in Los Angeles County. I read the press release. The first time ever there's been a blizzard warning, potential snow behind the track up to about 1,000 feet, I guess.
That's impressive. I mean, I had to ask you about this coming in, because I thought it was a joke at first. I thought it was April Fool's, but it's not. It's true. So lots of racing action here at Gulfstream. We've got sunny skies all weekend.
Yeah, so get involved. Your best bet today?
My best bet is, I believe, why did I forget this here? Oh, yeah, race 1, Good Value, the Chad Brown daughter of Mendelssohn from post number 9.
Early in the betting, 4-1, very early in the betting. Island Magic for me, for Ronaldo Richards in race 4. Dueling long shots in the same race for us today, I think.
Yeah, we do. And race number 2, Beautiful Star, 12-1 for me. Irad gets the call.
Yeah, I'm going to get about 5-1, I think. Mia's Authority for me, who might be 15-1.
Yeah,
so
you might be the winner of that one.
We'll see. Now, very exciting this Saturday, because finally, and I'm sure his connections will agree with me, Candyman Rocket gets to put back-to-back races together.
Yeah.
And here's the field. Good job, guys. Thank you for the Gulfstream Park Sprint. He's 9-5 on the morning line. They're not beating him on Saturday.
Yeah, it will be very tough too.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, it'll be a fun one to watch. Got some speedy horses in there. Lightning Larry, he's quick. We'll see how it goes, but yeah, this will be a fun race.
His comeback, we'll probably show it. I'm sure we'll show it on Saturday. His comeback was devastating. It's just a matter of keeping him healthy, and he's 3 for 3 here at Gulfstream Park. He loves it. Last but not least, you are Beat the Expert on Saturday. I didn't set the bar extremely high, but I got some wins, and that's you know what I'm talking about there.
Yep, I am, and we'll see how it goes. Make sure you sign up at gulfstreampark.com/wagering. We'll put it out on socials as well. Let's pick more winners than me here.
Well, that's it. 9 races here. Ronnie's coming up. Samantha's out onto the turf course, a firm turf course. Look at that pick 5, already 75,000. A huge Rainbow Six looming today as well. And it's not going to be easy, so get involved and fire away. We'll see you a little bit for the opener.
Introducing the first racing tool from Pegasus to Preakness. Iconic venues. World-class racing. Millions at stake. New champions will be crowned. only at first.